Hello, my friends. My name is Uche Onyebadi, and it's always my pleasure to welcome you to Cross-Cultural Experience, where I typically invite somebody, a guest who has traveled outside his or her own cultural environment, gone to some other place, witnessed something good, bad, exciting, whatever, and then is willing to share. This forum. The whole idea is for us to know that there are people on the other side of the fence, so to say, cultural fence, have the way they do things. And it's not our duty, to go and tell them how to behave. When you go back to your cultural environment, you can be the king you have always been. But when you go to other places, you learn to live with them. As they say, when you go to Rome, behave like Romans. Okay. Today I have something a little bit unique. But before I do that, I'll tell you what it is. I would like you to join me if you wish. How to get to me is crossculturalexperiences at gmail.com. Crossculturalexperiences at gmail.com. Don't forget the S. All right. I will also remind you at the end of this forum. My experience I'm going to share today is a little bit unique because I moved from the human cultural environment to an animal cultural environment. We're all crossing cultures, aren't we? Oh, yes. Here is what I mean. Two, three occasions I've been on safari in Kenya, where you go to see the animals in the natural habitat. Not those animals they put in cages at zoos and all that. No, 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 no. Where they live as per their nature, where nature has put them. It is always very, very exciting. I will advise, if you can afford it, if you have the resources, just go. And you will come back asking some of the questions I ask myself. Each time I visit, I ask myself these questions. Let me just deal with two of them. You know, the experience in the wild is that animals do what? Live and let live. That is what they do. You don't have Russians versus Ukraine, or the US versus Iran, or Israel versus Hamas. You don't have them in the animal kingdom. Everybody, they just live and let live. So you find all sorts of animals in the wild, each of them doing his or her own thing. Live and let live. Yes, I agree. Some animals are very territorial, but so what? They all move all over the place. They don't, animals, they don't have visas. The elephant will not tell you, oh, this is my territory. If you don't have a visa, don't come. They don't have lion immigration officers who roam around asking you, okay, sometimes very xenophobic, throwing people in jail, deporting them. They don't do that. They don't have political assassinations. They don't have political parties. They just roam around in the wild, do their own things. Wherever they go, they sleep. They come back home. That's it. They don't have all these things we human beings have built around ourselves, claiming territories that at times don't belong to us. Have you ever heard of the animal World War I or II, like we've had, and we're possibly going to the Third World War? They don't do all those things. So when you come, from visiting the wild, you begin to wonder, what's going on? And do you know that animals don't attack you? Because when I was there, the tour guide told us, so long as you don't disturb them, they will never disturb you. Yeah, they don't attack you. We've been situations where we were like maybe 30 feet, 50 feet, to the lions. They don't, they just go their way. Actually, most of those lions, they sleep during the day. They only hunt at night, especially the female lions, the lionesses. Those are the ones that hunt. So they don't attack unless they feel threatened. So you go there and then you find, the buffalo, for instance, very big, very agile. You can move at phenomenal speed. You can't imagine the way they move. But you don't attack them, no problem. They just go their way. How about the elephants? Big. They don't attack anybody. And so you find out that herbivorous animals, they all coexist. So you go there, you find zebras, giraffes eating on the same spot, buffaloes, rhinos, antelopes, all sorts of birds perching on their backs and whatever. They're just existing. What which what we human beings can never do. Yes, we don't do that. So at times when it is, the carnivores versus the herbivores, yeah, you might find a problem among and within the carnivorous animals. They want to kill each other, but one another. But it's not, you know. Oh, by the way, we were informed that this, and I think it's true. The lion does not attack you unless they want to eat. When they are hungry, they attack. Anyway, I'll come back. I'll come back to that. So, but they coexist in the same ecosystem, which we human beings, most of the time, we are incapable of doing. That's why we have wars all over the place. That's why we have, we create all sorts of equipment, machines of war, just to decimate and kill the others. Animals don't do that. They just do their own thing. Okay, so like I said, live and let live. Yes, they are territorial, but they don't bother anybody. There are no visas among them. You just go your way. There are no xenophobic animals. Oh, you cannot come. No, 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 no. They just do that. Essentially, now, what I'm telling you, I'm not saying that's the product of my own research. It's just what we were told and things that I observed, going to those places. How about the second one? The second one is greed. Human beings are too greedy and too selfish. I am part of it. Greedy and too selfish. Animals do not hunt just for the sake of killing the other ones, killing the other prey. No, we were informed animals, especially at night, they just hunt because they are hungry. Full stop. And once they eat, they go and sleep. Same way, all these other big, rhinos, and they don't just go killing because they want to kill. Generally speaking, the way we do here, we are so greedy as human beings. So greed is virtually non-existent in the animal kingdom. They are hungry, they go and hunt. And once they catch the prey, that's it. They just eat and then go home. Whatever they call their home. They don't have people, in our case, you have thousands, you're looking forward to becoming a millionaire. You have millions, now you're looking forward to doing what? Becoming a billionaire. There are no elephant billionaires or antelope billionaires or rhino billionaires, multi-millionaire. What? All these things we do. They don't have Elon Musk in the animal kingdom. They don't have Jeff Bezos. They don't have fleets of cars, exotic cars that cost, I don't know, or aeroplanes that cost millions of, they don't have all those things. They don't have houses all over the place. They just go and do their own thing. Okay, as a human being, if you have 10 houses, say within the United States or in UK, are you going to sleep in all 10 of them at the same time? No. At times you do even forget that you even have a house somewhere. But that's all we do. Animals don't do those things. They don't. They just roam around, sleep, wake up, eat, and go do their own things. So each time each time I go and visit, it's just astonishing the way they have developed their lives. And then they move away from all these things we call, oh, this is my territory. You cannot come here. You need a visa. You need whatever it is to come visit. They also are not very greedy. They just eat. Just like us. Let me ask you, if you're a billionaire, I have nothing against Elon Musk, but if Elon Musk's capacity is to drink a bottle of cold water, will he drink two? He can't. He can't finish two. If his capacity is just a plate of rice, small plate of rice with whatever it is, will he? He can't consume two plates. That is what the animals do. One plate of whatever they call their food, they eat it, and that's it. They don't want that extra. And I guess that's why I don't know whether they have anything called corruption in the animal kingdom. And when they eat, they finish everything, crack the bones, and then they go their way. They don't do what we do. You have, you're a millionaire, you say, I need billions. You know, in order to get your billions, you make other people around you very wretched, poverty stricken, because you are the only person who wants to be a billionaire. They don't throw their weight around. Have you seen the elephant throwing its way around in the animal kingdom? They don't. They just go their way. The only time you know that an elephant is really can be wild is when you go so close to it and you see the ears flapping. Run, because it now feels threatened and is going to attack you. The same with a buffalo. When you see a buffalo, stay steady. It's not moving. The eyes are just looking at you. Go away, because it can catch you in 10 seconds, big as it is. So when we saw the lions, no problem. The tour guide told us, don't talk, don't scream, don't make any noise. Animals will come and pass. You go your own way. But if you threaten them, they fight back. So these are some of the, like I told you, this is a unique experience, cross-cultural experience into the animal kingdom. Now, whenever you have the opportunity, like I said, you go, and then you will experience the same thing. And when you come back, you begin to wonder, what are we doing even as human beings? We are supposed to be mentally more developed than these animals. We are supposed to have everything at the higher scale, higher level. But the animals, they teach us a lot. Go and verify yourself. I'm not talking about the ones in the zoo. No, I'm not talking about the ones in the wild, real wild animals. You will just be here, a rhino is passing, it will just go its way. It will not attack you unless it feels threatened. You can see the buffaloes, the zebras, the giraffes, they're all doing their own thing. No problems. Not even like human beings. Okay. So, like I said, if you have the opportunity, go see what the animals are doing in the wild. We call it the wild. I don't know whether we are the people who live in the wild, because ours is wild, wild west. Theirs is not wild, wild west. They just do their own thing and go their way. All right. So, like I said at the beginning, if you want to be part of this experience, whatever experience you have, yeah, let's share, and so that all of us will be enlightened in the process, you know. And recently, I introduced some segments that will deal with how do people give names to their kids. I also am moving into some segments where I can add, you know, what do people eat? There are too many things that unite us. You travel to some country and you think you won't find the food you like. You go there, you find it. I'm also introducing everything about culture, like weddings, like funeral ceremonies, and all that. You'll be surprised what people do in other cultures. I've been in a culture where a funeral I was timing 5 minutes. The person was buried immediately and everybody went home. I've also attended burial ceremonies in other cultures where it lasts for several months. Anyway, this is not being judgmental, it's just based on observation, how people do their own things. And the name is Cross Cultural Experience, and my name is Uche Onyebadi. Like I said, if you want to be part of this, crossculturalexperiences at gmail.com. Meanwhile, stay safe, stay blessed, and I hope everything goes well for you and your loved ones. Bye for now.